All right, what's going on? I'm Corbellic. Welcome back to the studio. We're about to do some shipping today. Came in here early in the morning. Usually I have my assistant do this, but I'm just going to knock this out just so I can show you guys how I take care of some of my larger paintings. These are 16 by 20s. You know, this is a good, decent size right here for the auctions. And people seem to enjoy these, especially like ones like this. Look at this. This is an elephant. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I mean, the thing that's good about these things usually auction between $80 to $200, you know, but I start off at a low amount so that way it's fair for everybody and it climbs up. But you know, most people, they want the larger works. So I'm going to show you how I just knock these out when it's time to ship. So I usually do the packing myself or the picking. I take it from the shelf over there where I have them in numeric order on the SKU, and then I put the label on top of it. So that way my assistant, they can come in and the only thing they have to do is pack it up. Real simple. Or if it's really a busy day, then I'll have it do it myself. But it's no problem. Come in here and just show you guys how to knock it off. I wonder if I got enough bubble wrap. Always make sure that you have enough bubble wrap. And if not, it's fine. I got it in the storage room and we'll just put more bubble wrap on there. Now, I'm gonna show you a trick that I started doing to protect the artwork. This is a priority box right here. This is I think this is the international priority box. I also have this listed in the description where you can get these in my art program below. So it has all the descriptions and everything that you would need, supplies. This is for free. So this will be delivered to your house, to your studio, anywhere. They come in a bundle of 25 and you can order as many as you want. You know, I usually get 10 or 15 at a time. So get these and put this in the front to protect the artwork. Customers love seeing that their artwork is protected like this. It gives them more confidence to come back and buy with you again. So it looks like this when they receive it. We're just gonna wrap that up like that. But if you don't have a box place that's nearby where they have these mirror boxes, then you can also order the correct size at Uline. Uline has all the boxes there as well. But I try not to do too much business with Uline because after a while, it gets to be expensive. But like I said, if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can do this business anywhere where you're at in America. You can do this business anywhere because they'll deliver to you, and they'll deliver to you overnight. Uline will. They'll deliver bubble. They'll deliver boxes, and I can show you how to go about dealing with them and what to order in my art program, so that way you can save money and you can also have a higher profit margin. You really don't lose out on too much money dealing with them, but I like to count all of my pennies. So luckily I have a box place that's nearby me where I just get these boxes myself, and it saves me about I think it saves me about 50 cents to 75 cents, but think about it, as much art that you'll do, it saves up or it adds up. I always order these international labels right here, but you can order this yourself. I mean, this, I guess they say it's for a Priority Mail Express or international label, but you can order these. They're not going to trip off of this. This is just that way you can put your labels inside of these. But if you're also more simple than me and you actually have a Rolo or you have a printing machine that prints the labels, then you could just use that too with the stick. But I'm old school. I print them out with my printer and I just put them on there. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. But maybe one day I'll invest in a printing label machine. That way I could just stick it on here. Boom. And then since it's also a larger box, what I like to do, even though it says fragile on here that it's glass, I put on here mere fragile stickers. 2 of them in the front, 2 of them in the back. Boom, and there we go right there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys how I box up some of the smaller ones. These are just the larger ones right here. I'm going to take care of these. I'll probably put it on a time lapse, but I'm going to go through and show you how I do the smaller boxes. All right, here we go right here. These are the smaller ones right here. So these are either between 14 by 11s or 12 by 16s that I primarily like to deal with because they all go into the same box. So the same box that we used when we did the 16, or yeah, when we protected the 16 by 20s, I use this one to ship. Now this one, like I said, it's a specialized priority box. I think it's an international or some type of code on there, but you can get this, you know, in my program where I show you which type of box it is. It has all the links on there where you could just click in there. You can order these for free and it's free shipping. So I like dealing with these, to be honest. I like dealing with the 12 by 16s and the 14 by 11s, or maybe even some 12 by 12s, because I don't have to pay for the boxing, you know. So that really saves. So that's why it's like anytime I do the 16 by 20s, yes, people love them, people want to buy them, people like the size, so they'll end up auctioning more most of the time. But I also have to charge a little bit more on the shipping because I had to go out and I had to buy the box, which is like $4 plus the shipping weight is a little bit more, you know, on my end. So it's just a lot of times it's better to do this and it's faster to knock them out. But also I enjoy doing the 16 by 20s, the larger ones, because it gives me more physical look when I'm doing it with the large brush strokes, and just easier to deal with when it's larger. But it's all fine. I mean, I've been doing these for so long, and you could do this too. It's so simple. You don't have to think about it. Anybody can do this. If I can do this, anybody can do this. I'll make it so simple. And I have this all broken down in my art community of how you can do this yourself. So look, okay, just put a box right. Now I'm gonna take this one. Remember, the night before, I like to print them out. I like to pick them out. I just put the label on top just so that way I know which customer it is. If they have multiples, I'll put it on top of the multiples, but this one is just one, so very simple. Put my signature on the back. Now, what I like to do when it's these smaller ones, as you can see right here, this is the parchment paper. I also talk about this in the art community as well. Protecting the artwork with the parchment paper. So you can see right there, that's a buffalo painting, very beautiful. But customers love to see where it's protected like this with some type of parchment paper. That way the paint is protected. I use acrylic, oil pastel. The oil pastel is protected even though I spray a finish on there. It gives it that look. But as well, when I'm doing art, I have shelves where I have so many of the paintings that are on top of each other, and I don't want it to smear on top of the other painting. I don't want it to get stuck. I don't want to have any of that issue. So parchment paper just protects you from having any of the issues. The type of bubble wrap that I get is a 12-inch wide by maybe like 400 feet or something like that, or maybe it's so many yards, but I get the larger one. And then I have this wheel right here, or this bubble wrap holder. You can order this from Uline. So this is a specialized one that is attached to the wall and it will hold it for you. I like to do it this way, from left or from right to left, because it's easier for the bubble wrap when I pull on it and to just bubble wrap. I've been doing this for a long time, like I said. So I have all the tips and tricks to make things easy for yourself when you're going to be doing this. Since this is a 12 by 16, it's going to look like it's not going to fit, but it is going to fit because we just push down on it like that. And then it's going to look like this. So it's going to be like, oh man, maybe it can't fit. Nope, you just put one piece of tape on there. If it's a combined shipment, you could send, to protect the quality of the artwork, you could put 3 canvases in here, maybe 4. It just depends on the size of the canvas, but yeah. And I have a perfect 5-star as far as description, shipping, deliverment, or shipping delivery. No issues at all. I put one piece of tape right there, another piece of tape right there. Now this is just masking tape. You can get this from the dollar store. You don't have to get anything expensive. So I just get a bunch of these, and that way I can just tape my wrapping paper. This is standard wrapping paper that I use. The reason that I use wrapping paper when I'm doing shipping is that way I can save money, because you do not want to ship it with this box at all. That's going to be expensive. They're going to charge you like $12, $13. When you ship it like this, you can still get away with doing ground delivery. See? And that way you save money. Ground delivery. And then you could then that way you're able to transfer the cost over savings to your customers, and then your buyers like that. It's important. So here, let's just wrap this up. Now, when I first started out in the game, and I had canvas sizes like this, 12 by 16s or 14 by 11s, I used to go to Uline or to the box place, and I used to buy individual size boxes for this. Now those boxes, they cost like $3, or from Uline, they could be a little bit more, because you're also having to pay for the delivery from FedEx the next day for it to be delivered, plus the taxes, and that adds up real quick. And that's another one of the reasons how I put myself out of business. Almost put myself out of business. So remember, if you watched my prior video, I talked about how there was different ways how I got rich and then I went broke. One of the ways how I went broke is just not knowing how to save money when it came to shipping, how to do shipping, how to do my pricings on eBay, and how to utilize and leverage both sides, from the buy it now to the auctions, to the what's free shipping, to what's price shipping, and how to have the exact price points to what is exact shipping, but also how to save money when it comes to combined shipping and how to offer combined shipping to your buyers. If you want to know more about that, click down below, get into the art community program, where I break it all down for you, so you can save yourself time and you don't have to bump your head like I did, where I've lost thousands of dollars just trying to figure it out. And I had to figure it out. It was like sink or swim. Can't go backwards. Boom. There you go right there. Just put this to the side for my post spot, for my post office guy. I keep these up here as these different sizes canvases up here for my assistant. So anytime that they're still trying to just to make sure what kind of canvas size that we're dealing with, I keep this example up here with the number count of 12 by 16, 14 by 11, 12 by 9, and 10 by 8. I don't have to put a 16 by 20 up here, because obviously anything that's larger than a 12 by 16 is a 16 by 20. So I'm going to knock the rest of these out. I'm going to put this on a time lapse right now, but I just wanted to show you guys how I do the larger ones, which is the 16 by 20, to how I'm going to do the smaller ones, which is the 14 by 11 and the 12 by 16. So check this out. So in this process, I'm just taking care of the 12 by 16s and the 14 by 11s first, just getting them out the way. And then you can see I'm using the shipping paper, making sure that that's there, so that way we can save cost. Now we're going to be taking care of the large boxes and knocking all of these out individually. Now these are going to stack up right here, because I had a lot of 16 by 20s that sold over the weekend, and we just restocked up on the bubble wrap right there. I always have extra any kind of shipping paper, any kind of shipping supplies in the next room over. And after a while, you could just stack this stuff up yourself. Rome wasn't built overnight. I wasn't always in this studio space. I didn't always have this much shipping. I really had to work my way up to get all of this. It took years, but little by little, you'll get there. You don't have to try to think about all of this overnight. And after a while, you just really have to remind yourself how blessed I am to even be able to sell all of this art, because all of this just means that not only is it going to people's homes, that they could enjoy the art, but that you were able to make some money. And look at this right here. Not bad for a day's work. I mean, still got a little bit more shipping to do, but that looks pretty good. I did this myself, not too shabby. All right, well, we took care of that. That wasn't too bad, right? That wasn't too bad. Like I said, normally I have my assistant, but you can even build up to that, or you even start off with that. Get your family involved in doing this. I mean, that's a real cool idea. That way you'll be more business minded, and it'll give you that push. You don't have to, like I said, this could be your secret project. Nobody will have to know about it until the money starts coming in. But when it does, you can get your mom involved, you can get your sister, or you can get your brother. You can say to your husband or your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, this is a great project even for kids. You can say, hey, let's do this. I'll pay you a little bit of something. If you say that to your kids, or if you have family, they'll even help you out too. If you have a husband, brother, whatever, they'll be like, okay, that's fine. Be like, we got some money coming in for Christmas time. We got some money coming in for that special vacation. This is going to be a great thing that they can help you. And that way you can focus on the side where it's just the art. And I don't want you to think about that icky word art. I know, because even to this day, it icks me out when I hear art. I'm like, art. That means that I got to be correct on something. You don't have to be correct. I'm showing you the projector way, where you're using the projector. There is no right or wrong. It's just laying it down, creating, and shipping, turning it out so you can get that money. All right, I'm gonna catch you on the next video, where I'm gonna break down more about the algorithm, more about shipping, and how you can feel confident on the projector. All right.